SciSpeed Reviews wants to know.
What's your Star Wars story?
Welcome to SciSpeed Reviews. On this channel, I do weekly Funko Pop reviews, Black Series toy reviews, Black Series helmet reviews, and anything Star Wars related I get my hands on. So this is the third episode of What's Your Star Wars Story. We have a special guest with us today, Noah from Rogue Nation.
What is going on? I am here in living color.
So what you been up to?
I mean, honestly, man, it's like I was telling you before we got on here, the weather's just starting to break, so I'm trying to be outside, but usually if I'm not outside, I'm sitting in this chair because I got 3 YouTube channels and I'm trying to grow them all. Especially recently, I'm trying to get everything organized, which I'm sure we'll get into a little bit, but my schedule's pretty the same. It ain't nothing too exciting in the Noah Nation world for anybody watching out there. I was just usually sitting in this chair, so. If you want to just find me on social media, at Noah Nation Vlogs, that's Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And then on YouTube, like we mentioned, I got 3 different YouTube channels. Obviously, this is Star Wars, so to plug my Star Wars channel, most importantly, it is the Rogue Nation YouTube channel. Currently, I am taking all of my old Star Wars videos, which is literally years worth, 2020, 2021, some of 2022. I'm pulling them off what is now my wrestling channel because it's ruining the algorithm over there, and privating them all and just re-uploading them on my Star Wars channel in bulk. Jedi Survivor does come out in a few weeks. I'll probably be streaming that, so you can find me over on the Rogue Nation YouTube channel. We have the Noah Nation Wrestling channel, which is all about professional wrestling. That's how I started on YouTube 13 years ago when I was in 5th grade. And now the channel has reverted back to its original form, which is wrestling discussions. And then I have a gaming channel, which is basically just a wrestling gaming channel. But I play, WWE over there, and I'm sure I'll add in something else eventually. But yeah, I got 3 channels, but most importantly, the Rogue Nation YouTube channel.
Awesome, yeah. So yeah, you got a lot of great content. Notice you been posting up some of your older videos.
Yeah.
I was like, who is this guy? I know him, but I
yeah, that's all my old stuff, man. It's literally, I started making YouTube videos in 2010. I was in 5th grade on a webcam in the living room of this house, and all of it was always wrestling stuff. So I'm just a diehard professional wrestling fan. And I kind of just wanted to do more stuff. So I started doing toy videos, I started doing Star Wars stuff, and then just through the process of learning YouTube, like especially last year, I realized that having a bunch of different topics on one channel really isn't the best for growing your YouTube channel. So I made 3 different channels, and now slowly but surely I finally decided to go through the process of taking literally years worth Star Wars videos, Funko Pop videos, Hot Toys, Black Series, all that Star Wars related stuff, and I'm pulling it off, and it's going back up on YouTube on a new channel, but it'll be there for people to watch if people want to watch it. But
I'm gonna leave all those links down below. And also you have a merch store, am I correct?
Yes, I'll be honest, I almost want to take it down because I hate Teespring. Just real shout out to them in a bad way. Literally the worst customer service ever. I personally ordered one of my own t-shirts 2 months ago. It's still not here. And there's just yeah, we'll tell you when we got an update. Yeah. So, it's there. It's noah-nation.creator-spring.com. I know, complicated, but you got to pay for a real domain, and I'm not doing that. There's merch from all 3 of my channels on there.
We go over what is your favorite game at this time?
It's WWE games, which is all on the Noah Nation gaming channel. And then most importantly, Star Wars Battlefront 2 is I've been streaming. I haven't done it in really a couple weeks because other stuff's been taking up my time, but we've done a bunch of streams on the Rogue Nation YouTube channel, and in a couple of weeks, I will be live streaming Jedi Survivor slowly but surely when that comes out, which is, about 2 weeks away. So I'm very much looking forward to that. That's really all I'm playing at the time. That's all I've really ever played is wrestling and Star Wars games. So
I would go down that rabbit hole, but man, I don't know if I can get a new system at this time.
Yeah, no, trust me, I feel you. I didn't want to pay for the $500 toaster looking Xbox, so I got the one that's $300 cheaper, and I've realized the only difference is that the black box has more storage, and I was like, oh, I play 2 games anyway, so screw the storage. I'm just getting this little one.
So let's get on to the first question. All right, so which is your favorite Star Wars trilogy?
Easy. The prequels. Love the originals, but I grew up on the prequels. I was born 1999, 24 years of age. Literally, I grew up with those 3 movies. Obviously, I didn't see The Phantom Menace in theaters because I was 6 months old, but was there for Attack the Clones, even though I don't remember it. I was there, evidently, from what I'm told, in theaters. And I do remember being in the theater and watching Revenge of the Sith. And it didn't really click at the time because I was 6, I think, that Anakin was Darth Vader until I saw it for the first time in theater. So I was like, oh my God, But yeah, man, I grew up on those movies and the Clone Wars, the prequels, those characters. That's always what I connected with the most. That's always what I've loved the most. And I love the originals. Like I probably for background noise sometimes, because I just like having stuff on my TV sometimes. I probably put the originals on as background noise more than anything else. Because I know if I put the prequels on, especially Revenge of the Sith, I'm gonna get invested. Yeah, like I can do it with Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones because I've seen them a million times, obviously.
Yeah.
But like I can't put Revenge of the Sith on as background noise because I'm going to get locked in. Like I literally can't do it. I'm not just saying that because we're on here. Like I'll play any of the originals and those two, and then I'll put like Clone Wars on and just let it play through a million times. Rebels, same thing. But like I cannot put Revenge of the Sith on as background noise, or I'm gonna get sucked in because it's just so good. This past weekend at Celebration, there was a clip of Hayden Christensen on stage, and he was kind of getting emotional because he's finally getting all this support from the people that grew up in the prequels. That, you know, a lot of us were kids, a lot of them weren't, but a lot of us were kids, and now we're adults and or young adults, and he can finally see that appreciation, how much, you know, people love those movies. And I love seeing that stuff, man. I love those movies more because, you know, I want those people those actors and everybody who was involved in those movies to get the appreciation they deserved, in my opinion. So yeah, I love the prequels. I love seeing those characters and those actors get their flowers now. And yeah, I can watch those movies any day.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I love the prequels myself. I mean, I'm an original trilogy guy, but I love
yeah.
the prequels. And you got two different feels on those movies. They're the original trilogy, kind of like mellow, kind of, you know, like you said, background. You can put it on anytime, and you can just have it going. You may not have to always watch it.
Yeah,
but, you know, you kind of go along with the story. And
there's something almost like just calm and cozy about those movies. Like I could just put them on and relax. You know, like especially Empire, because it starts out and it's snow, and it just makes me think of like winter time, and like September to December is like my favorite time of year. So I just love that vibe, you know.
Yeah, it's totally different with the prequels. With the prequels, you got to be.
Yeah, especially episode 3, man. Like I can put the other two on and, you know, sit at this desk and just kind of listen to it on low while I'm doing some stuff. But I can't put Revenge of the Sith on because once the movie starts, you're getting action. So like, and it's really good. So I can't put it on.
Question number 2: what was your catalyst for starting a YouTube channel?
13 years ago, which is like insane. Like I can't believe I was making YouTube videos in 5th grade. Unfortunately, that original channel that I was making videos on for like a year, I deleted like April 2011, and then I started making videos again on my current Noah Nation Wrestling channel. If you look at the date when it was set up, it's like July 9th, 2011. So like back then, again, I started on YouTube making just sit-down wrestling discussion videos, and during the time, no one, because this is all Star Wars fans, no one's going to know what I'm talking about here. But the YouTube wrestling community, that's literally what it's called, is the YWC, the YouTube wrestling community. And there was a couple of people at the time who I would watch who did figure reviews, did pay-per-view predictions, did all this stuff. And I was watching those people from probably like summer of 2009 to beginning of 2010. And then for whatever reason, I think my sister might have had to get a webcam for like school or something like that. And then I just started using it. I was like, oh, I can make YouTube videos on this. So I started doing it. And then I did that for about a year, closed my channel just because I just wasn't using it or whatever. And I just felt like, I'm just going to delete everything. Because, you know, when you're a kid, you're just an idiot. But then I started making videos again, which again, this is all on my, what is now called the Noah Nation Wrestling channel. And then I was just making YouTube videos ever since. Like, I just remember always having that, you know, instinct, like, oh, there's a wrestling pay-per-view this weekend. I want to make a prediction. I want to make a review afterwards. Literally, like, Christmas 2010, my parents got me a little handheld, you know, camcorder because they know how much I liked making videos. And it's funny looking back at all that because, like, that's been the one constant in my life. You know, when you're a kid and you're a teenager and you're a young adult, you go through many phases and lots of changes. But, like, through all these years, through 13 years, just talking about the last 13 years, it's been the one constant. Like, there has really not been many times where I wasn't making YouTube videos. So, but really, the whole catalyst to me making videos was just the fact that I was watching people do it. I had the capabilities to do it, and I was just like, screw it, I'm just gonna do it. And I don't know what my views were like back then. I don't know who was clicking on a 5th grader's, you know, WWE WrestleMania 26 predictions, but you know, because I know I probably wouldn't. But yeah, man, that was the catalyst. Was just like, I just want to do it. And now again, looking back, it's just always been there. Yeah. And to the point where now in 20 loosely in 2019, but I'd say like 2020, 2021 was when I was like, this is when I kind of realized that it's always been a constant. And I was like, I should really make an effort at just trying to make this my, full-time gig one day. Because I literally watch people like a Star Wars Theory, for example, that a lot of people watching this will know, who do that for a living and make incredibly, and have an incredible, living for the most part. So I was like, listen, I'm not relying on it, but I'm certainly going to go all in, which is why I'd spent a lot of my time sitting in this chair. But it also doesn't feel like work. It's fun, especially when I have 3 different channels and it's all my favorite loves: wrestling games, Star Wars games. So I know I kind of branched off to the Catalyst thing there, but like, yeah, man, I love making videos on it.
Like you said, you started early on it, and you feel real comfortable with it. I may have never mentioned this before, but I just barely started my YouTube channel like maybe 2.5 years ago. So yeah, I'm fresh at this, and I'm like I said, I have nerve issues, but hey, I'm making an effort, and I'm, like I said, I'm still working at trying to get better at it. So
yeah, and a big part of why I've loved it even more is like, whether it was wrestling stuff or Star Wars stuff, like, and I've really met very few people in person, but like I know of so many people online, and like you and Christopher were the first, like, I seriously, Star Wars, for everybody watching, were the first people I really connected with in the Star Wars community, because he invited me on to be, I believe it was on his live stream, and we were both on talking about Book of Boba Fett pops like over a year ago, and now that's catapulted into a 12, 13, I don't even know how many people friend group on Instagram, and like, it's one of the best parts of my days. We're not live here, but like, this is going up on YouTube. I'll sit here and say it, like, those people, like, interacting with you guys on a day-to-day basis, even if it's just one message here, one message there. There's days where nobody really says anything. I love it. Like, I feel like I got like this really close-knit friend group, and it's like, that's all because of Star Wars YouTube videos. Exactly. And I've never met any of you in person.
Same here, man. Yeah, I never branched out. I mean, I have my friends, growing up and stuff like that, and you have your own personal friends, but I'm like, to actually have Star Wars friends and connecting people worldwide, it's pretty amazing. Technology, how it's just brought everybody together, man. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I look forward to talking to you guys every day again, even if it's just like one message here, or sometimes no messages, than I did talking to the people who you thought you were friends with in high school, but really they were just acquaintances because you saw them every day. You know what I mean? It's like the person you see at work every day. It's like, are we friends, or do we just see each other every day? Like, none of us have to talk to each other, but we choose to because we're Star Wars fans. We're a bunch of geeks, like, realistically. So everybody's doing these podcasts or on each other's live streams all the time. Super fun, man. This is literally the best thing I get to do, and I don't even get to do it for a living yet, but it just, I don't know. I want it to be, so that's what I always think about.
Totally agree, man. All right, Noah, we're going to get to the question that we're all here for.
What's your Star Wars story?
What's your Star Wars story?
I really didn't get big into my Star Wars fandom, if you will, funny enough, because I'm not a fan of the movies, until the sequels came out. And it wasn't necessarily the movies themselves, it was just the fact that Star Wars was in the limelight again. Rewatch all the old ones like for the first time in a while, because obviously I'd seen, I grew up on the prequels, I had seen the originals. My dad was a diehard Star Wars fan. He collected himself. He's got a bunch of Power of the Force and this, that, and the other, and figures just sitting in boxes in the attic.
I've seen those
yeah. And my brother was into it as well. So it was always kind of one of those. Honestly, it was the same thing as wrestling. Like, it was always just kind of in my house. And wrestling just happened to be the thing I connected to when I was, 6, because I just actually sat down and watched it. But yeah, it was really the sequels coming back in theaters and just Star Wars being in the limelight again that made me go, yeah, I'm going to watch the prequels for the first time in, however many years. I'm going to watch the originals. That was really what catapulted everything. And then I think I started probably collecting Star Wars stuff in 2017. I don't know if they did it for Force Awakens, but I know for Last Jedi they did like Force Friday. So like Star Wars, and like Hasbro put out stuff, Funko put out stuff, I'm sure other companies put out stuff as well. And I didn't go out on Force Friday because I didn't know what it was, but I remember seeing all of the Last Jedi displays and all the new stuff hitting stores. And then I started grabbing some pops here and there. I started collecting pops. I was like, I'm not going to get into the Star Wars ones. There's way too many of them. Like, I can't go back and get them. And then even though I've cut back drastically on my, you can't see, on my Star Wars Funko Pop collection, I cut back, but it's gonna grow back up. Like, it's one of those things where you sell something and you rebuy. Like, I already did that. Like, So it's funny how that transpired, but that's really where it kind of started, man. Was just it always being around and being like a casual fan of it as a kid, and then once Star Wars was back in the limelight, it just forced me to dive back in, and then I was like, oh, I love this. You know, I'll be honest, almost as much as wrestling. I can't say I love it just as much as wrestling because I'd be lying to myself. But it's like right here, dude. I love Star Wars.
Yeah, I remember when I think it was The Force Awakens. I don't remember exactly. I got my very first Vader helmet, and it's around here somewhere. So yeah, it's like
just lost in all those helmets behind
stuff back here. But yeah, it's like around that time, it was like I was so excited to have Star Wars in theaters again. It's pretty amazing, you know, when The Force Awakens came out.
Dude, I mean, who didn't like The Force Awakens? I mean, I know people didn't like The Force Awakens, when it came out because it resembled the originals a lot, and you know this, that, and the other. But like, I think majority of people were pretty hyped up on it, and including myself. And I remember when I, just branching off here, Star Wars Theory, like he started, I think in 2016, 2015. I literally remember watching him for the first time that year because Rogue One was coming out, and me and my brother would stay up till 5 in the morning in the middle of the summer because what else do teenagers do? And we would we would watch some of those like Rogue One Theory videos and this, that, and the other. So like I remember the hype was real, dude. 2015, 2016, like Disney, Star Wars, everyone was about it. And then The Last Jedi came out, and it was.
Before we sign off, did you bring something you wanted to show everybody?
So I haven't really bought any like major toys recently. Now I haven't really added any pops since beginning of March, maybe, or anything like that. But since I wanted to give you guys something new. It's not the biggest thing, ain't the greatest thing, but I recently did acquire a new I believe they're micro ships for Lego.
Yeah.
Little Boba, Slave One action. Oh. I know you appreciate this as well. But yeah, pretty cool. What are these things? Definitely. Like $8, $9? I don't know. But this is literally the latest thing I bought. It was a nice little acquire. I got this. I got the Han Solo, and I got the Mando and the Razor Crest. Let me get it back in camera. Those are the micro ships that I got.
Yeah. That's pretty cool because I got the same one. I purchased it like 2 or 3 days ago.
Nice. Yeah, this is like brand new. I got it like 2-3 weeks ago. So.
Yeah, pretty cool, man.
Yeah, I haven't bought anything recently. I think I got a hot toy on pre-order, but that's not till like the end of the year. I'm trying not to buy everything anymore, and I'm also trying not to be so impulsive, So like if I can sit on something, because that's what happens. I'm sure you've been there. Everyone's been there. You want to get something when it's brand new, and then like it sits for a couple months after you have it, and you're like, I really didn't need this. So like I'm trying to be like more patient with stuff, like unless it's like, yo, you got to get this right now, or you're never gonna get it. So. I'm trying to hold the process a little bit longer on some certain pops, and then if I still want it, a couple months later, a couple, whatever it is, then I'll be like, you know what, fine, I'll finally get it.
Yeah, so that makes sense. I want to jump on it in case it just sells out.
Well, that too, like the Obi-Wan Entertainment Earth, like that was the last thing I got, the Clone Wars one, the last pop I got, I think. That was a day one pre-order. But like that stuff, like Clone Wars stuff, prequel stuff, I'm usually on top of for the most part. Even though I missed the Jar Jar from Celebration the other day because I just forgot about it, and then I was like, all right, whatever, I'll just get it eventually. But most stuff, certain stuff I'm on top of, real quick. But some stuff I'm trying to play the long game with nowadays. Just I think it'll be better for my, containing the collection. Because as you guys will see, if you go watch the Rogue Nation YouTube channel and I'm uploading all my old videos, you guys will see how out of control the collection had been. From 2019 to late last year or early last year or whatever.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, so let me show you real quick what I picked up. Well, actually, this was I got this one in through Amazon, and I have another one, but this is the one that came recently. The second one is somewhere up here, but this one I'll be doing for my 700 subscriber mark giveaway, and
nice.
The winner of this one will be announced on May 4th. On that Thursday.
Nice.
So yeah, so it's going to be for U.S. residents only. Unfortunately, I can't, at this moment, do a worldwide.
Have you seen these shipping prices, guys? Yeah. Everything's going up.
Exactly. Yeah. So this is going to be just local in the United States.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I might be forgetting something, but that might be the best pop of 2022 Star Wars wise right there. I might be forgetting some stuff. My memory's a little foggy, but that's at least got to be up there.
Yeah, this is. But yeah, this is a great one for 2022, and it's up there for me.
And Funko, if you're watching this, which you're not because you don't care, More prequels and Clone Wars pops, please. This one a year, isn't really working out for me. Thanks for the Obi-Wan Clone Wars one. Really appreciate it, but we got a long list of stuff we could still do. Like, it starts from that wall and it goes to that wall, probably out the window and down the street. So, like, if we can start checking some stuff off this list, greatly appreciated. Yes. Between us, Funko, I'm just saying.
Thanks, Noah, for hanging out with me today. Thank you for telling me your Star Wars story. And like I said, technology nowadays, man, it just made this world, especially the Star Wars community, a lot tighter.
Yeah, I love interacting with people on here. It's why I look forward to the group chat every day. And anytime somebody's like, yo, I'm doing a live stream or I'm doing a podcast or a show, I'm like, yo, as long as I can be on, I'm going to be on, because I love talking to you guys. Like, especially me, like, not to go off on a little tangent, like, on my Star Wars channel, like, tried to do Mando reviews and Bad Batch reviews, but I'm just not that guy. Like, I have a hard time, like, sitting here for multiple minutes and making a compelling video about my Star Wars discussion, because a lot of times it's just like, it's good, it's bad, it sucks, it's great. I'm better when it comes to the conversation about Star Wars opposed to just, talking about it. So, like, that's why I love when Tony or it's Andrea or whoever's hosting does the Mando talk. Like, I'm like, all right, I want to be on there and get my thoughts out, because I'm better at that than doing it myself, if that makes sense. So that's one of the best parts about doing this stuff. You had Tony on, you had Lainey on. Like, now I got to learn about their Star Wars things, and we might not have ever had that conversation. So, like, it's cool that you do these, because now we get to learn more about each other, and obviously everybody else gets to view it as well. So it's super cool.
Yeah, that's exactly what I want this platform to do. Open it up. Let everybody tell their story, because I know everybody's got a story they wanted to tell. Yeah,
that's the best part about YouTube, is you get that engagement and that community with people, and you get to that I always encourage, like, especially on my wrestling channel, like, drop your predictions, drop your thoughts. Like, I want to see what everybody else is thinking out there.
I'm gonna go back to why I started playing Battlefront 2. Started watching your videos, man. I'm like, okay, I need to get into this, because I mean, you used to always play it, but I never been live.
Yeah.
And I don't like being behind the microphones and stuff like that, doing gaming. But most times,
it can be distracting.
Occasionally I will, but most times I won't. I'll like comment on my I'll have my phone nearby and I'll just comment like that. But it's you guys motivate me to make content. So
I mean, that's like, dude, I literally. I shared it to my, shout out to Star Wars Sith, dude, our friend Tony. Like, I shared it to my Instagram story last week. Like, that dude's crushing it right now.
Yeah.
He just created his channel like a year ago, and he's crushing it.
Yep.
Like, for a brand new channel standards. Like, and he just went to Celebration. I was watching some of his views go up, and I was like, good for freaking him, dude. Like, I love seeing everybody, especially in our tight group, just grow their platforms. That's the best part, dude. Is just watching everybody grow and stuff.
Yeah, Christopher's right around almost at 1,000. He's at I think 800 or 900.
Yeah, and he's been doing it for a couple of years as well. Like, and dude, this guy's he's crushing it. He's the man, dude.
Yep, he's building.
And again, shout out to Christopher, because if he never invited me to be on your guys' live stream like a year ago, I might not have never met any of you. So
he's one of my first. Yeah, he's one of my first YouTube friends. So this was cool, Noah. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'm gonna leave all your information down below. Subscribe to his channel. Follow him on Instagram, TikTok, and
Twitter.
All right.
At Noah Nation Vlogs.
Thanks for hanging out with me again, Noah, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Thank you very much.